this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We talking about help them get their job, get their house tonight. Help them get their house, get their job tonight. Help them get their home, get their... Listen, first of all, y'all good? Levels is good, levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good, levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good, levels is good. Levels is good, levels is good. Levels good, levels is good. Let's go. All right, let's bring it in. Come on. Come on, my peoples. Levels is good, levels is good. 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 Levels good, levels good. Levels good, levels good. Levels good, levels good. Pretty Petty Tuesday. I hope that y'all alright, cause I am. We here to keep it right, ain't running no scam. My name is Sun, just like a ball of fire in the sky. Yo, sometimes I look up at the light and ask myself why. Why are these trials and tribulations? Sometimes you gotta go through it, much frustration. But it doesn't mean that the day is dark. Yo, you sometimes have to get that little spark. That's the light, and it's gonna burn. But we all gotta wait for our turn. And sometimes we have to wait. Everything is gonna be alright. It's never late. Success comes to those who put in the work. So you can't be out here all the time getting jerked like chicken, Jamaican style, Caribbean. We going real cold wild. Yo, Bati boy, never that. Yo, roughneck, get with that. Yo, we gonna keep it rocking. Everything is gonna be alright. We're still clocked in, which means we about to get the job done. Yo, listen to 752 minus 1. No plus 1. 753. Nah, y'all can't get with me. God, power, and wisdom is up in here. What you talking about? Knowledge, wisdom, is understanding, top 10. Yo, the lessons gotta get learned. Put them up in the blessings. What you talking about? It's my turn. Yo, keep on rocking. The bridge keep rocking. The kids who keep rocking. The bridge keep rocking. The bridge keep rocking. I didn't take no nap, but what's the haps, kid? It's alright, you know. So bullshit. All this time, and I wasn't even set up right. I swear to God, boy. Fuck out of here. It's the corny shit. Y'all couldn't even hear me. Forget everything y'all heard, man. Forget everything you heard. None of that means nothing. Because we wasn't in the right stereo. You know what I mean? Only the real problem is that I'm coming off the head. So I can't even do... I can't even... My brother Tom is in the house. Yo, T, carry. Yo, it's all right. I'm gonna make up another one. It's time for us to do this show tonight. We stay up night, late, keep it light. Everything goes our way eventually. Yeah, it's not 752. Yo, DG, come with me. Yo, we Keep it rocking, keep on rocking. The bridge keep rocking, kids keep rocking. Bridge keep rocking, the bridge keep rocking. Yo, yo, when the time is right, yo, everything's gonna work out fine. Yo, I'm going for yours, you got to go for my time. When the time comes, you know you can't be late. But sometimes you gotta be in this shit. Yo, sometimes you gotta wait. I said good things happen to those who wait, those who grind. We gotta make sure that the sun shine. And when I say the sun, I'm not talking personal. I'm talking about all of y'all. No rehearsing too. Yo, listen to this shit. Make sure that you come through. Just a little bit. Keep on banging. Everything is all right. Yo, kid, how's it hanging? Pause, no need for pause. I can talk like a real man and still stand. 10 toes down, don't fuck around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We good? All right, y'all. So Urban Therapy with Sun 752. This your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is. You think it won't when it is. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing. Taking off fast lane, no coasting. And everything is gonna be all right. We talking about helping with their home and crib tonight. Oh, everything will be okay. We help them get a job and make a way. Everything is gonna turn out fine. We help them get themselves back online. Everything is gonna work out good. We help them knowledge, wisdom, understood. Everything is gonna turn out what? We help them get the bubbles out the guts. Everything is gonna turn out swell. We help them get the Yo. So y'all all right? Cause I am tonight on the I said tonight on the Daily Go Get It Business Show, we're talking about help them get their job, help them get their house, help them get their. Have you ever poured all your efforts into helping out somebody to get themselves on track, to get their house in order, to get them on the right path? And later on, they act like they did all of that shit on their own. Like they just forgot. They didn't have no money. They didn't have no knowledge. They didn't have no ideas. They ain't have nothing. All they didn't even have $1 in the dream. They was short $1 and they couldn't get no sleep. No dollar, no dream, no nothing. You put them in touch with the right people. You might have fronted them a couple of dollars. You told them what to do, what to say, where to go. And when all was said and done, when they up on the podium, they talking about, yo, I want to give a shot. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Most High. And then everybody else except for you. Like I said, I want to give a shout out to the Most High and everybody except for you. You who helped me get the crib. You who helped me get a job. You who showed me how to start a business. You who showed me the path of righteousness. You who straightened me out on everything. I want to say thanks to everybody except for you, because you ain't really do it. It wasn't you. It was me and the Most High. I want to thank my mama and my daddy and my sisters and my brothers and my classmates. And I want to thank my coach and everybody except for you. Yeah, no shouts out to you. Zancy Pelosi. Zancy Pelosi, what's good? It's like a play on words. Shout out to the former Speaker of the House, Zancy Pelosi. What's good, Zancy? Everything good? Everything good? I hope everything good. All right, so this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Put away my drums. And we can go ahead and have this conversation. We can have this conversation. Yeah. When people just forget about the things you've done for them. Now, don't get me wrong. You wasn't helping them out in order to get no recognition. You wasn't trying to, have them indebted to you or anything like that. But it's just amazing how when they got to where they got to, all of a sudden, you ain't have nothing to do with the whole process. Meanwhile, they was like Ferris Bueller's Day Off when the Jaguar, when they was trying to, put the Jaguar wheels in reverse, thinking that they could take the miles off of the car. And it wasn't working. That's what they was doing before you came along and showed them the way. And you did it altruistically. But somehow they conveniently forget that you was even part of the process. I don't know, son. That just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't sit well with my heart, with my spirit. It not work. It not work for me. So, but y'all can tell me how y'all feel about it. Maybe I'm not looking at it from the right perspective. You know what I mean? You don't have to be doing something for the thanks of it in order to expect it. Just give me a shout out. Can you imagine? Remember on hip hop records when they first started doing shout outs? I didn't even know they was called shout outs until I actually heard the word, Yeah, I was doing shout outs on the records. They was just naming people. I didn't know if they were talking about people who were in the studio, people who helped out on the record or whatever, or the record, on the record, as they would say. I didn't know if they were shouting out people who helped out on the record. And then I thought about it later on. I was like, dang. On those records, I'm sure that before they had a chance to get a record deal, we talking about in the golden age of hip hop, house parties, playing at venues where the DJ might have been the focal part of the whole party and the whole show, cutting and scratching and, mixing the records. And the rapper kept the party going, but he may not have been the focal part, like Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Jazzy Jeff was well known all over the city and in the tri-state area. Fresh Prince was not. He was a regular rapper. I mean, he could battle pretty well, but them rhymes wasn't. I was shocked as hell when I found out, like, Jeff, that's your MC? This ain't a match, but what do I know? Anyway, so, knowing what a lot of those crews, those rap crews had to do in order to make their way to a record deal. So I imagine when they was giving their shout outs, there were probably people that they knew that was like, yo, I was just with the bull. I let him hold my trans pass. He had no way to, yo, I borrowed my mom's van in order to transport his equipment to the. I ain't getting no shout out on the record. I carried the crates of records into the party. Of course, I got in the party free. It wasn't but $5 to get in anyway. But he ain't getting no shout out on the record. He thinking Russell Simmons and all of these other rappers and, you know what I mean, clout chasing on the shout outs. How about you shout out the corner store that had your picture in the bulletproof window? Yeah, shout out Mr. Chung. Shout out Mr. Chung and them. You was on the wall of fame behind the bulletproof glass. Where the shout out at? You know what I mean? There's certain people that may be instrumental to your success and got you on the right path. What up, Carla? Carla was good. Yeah, there might have been people that were instrumental to your success and they ain't getting no shine. What's up, Miss Ripper? The Grim Ripper is in the house. So yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not always about looking for any recognition or whatever. But when you hear somebody, and it might be your own kids, because children, when they get a little older, you know what I mean, get their own place, they forget that you paid the rent initially. Everything they furnished their first place with came from the room where you bought all that shit. Like this little single bed here. That shit takes me back. I remember my first apartment. I moved all my stuff from my room to my apartment. So my bunk bed that I had since I was 8 years old, it wasn't the tall bunk bed. It was the bunk bed that was about this high, and it had the bunk, the bed under. So it was a low bunk bed with some drawers on it. The drawers on it. That was the that was the bed that I had in my first apartment until I finally moved up to a full-size bed and then a queen-size bed. Never made it to a king while I was in my first apartment. But my TV that my mom had got, the bed that my mom had bought, and all of that, that was what was in my first apartment. It wasn't nothing that I bought. Only thing that I had that I actually bought was my radio. A little boom box. Why so much jewelry? Because I like to wear what I want to wear. That's why Bill Smith, what is his name? Bill Smith. Like, why do you wear whatever you wear? Like, this is my everyday jewelry. I wear this shit all day, every day. But when I throw my real jewels on, because this is silver. But when I throw the gold on, matter of fact, fuck it. Put my rings on. Ice and ruby. I wear this ring because this was my stepdad's ring. So you see the little rock and you see the big ruby on the 14 karat ring. I wear this because my mom gave me his ring when he passed in 2010. That's why I wear this. This ring right here, I've had since 1998. Oh, they ain't looking clear in the joint. It look clear to me. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like to be close. Anyway, my ex bought me this in like 1999, 1998, some shit like that. No, 1999. She bought me this. It was a good ring. And so I kept it. Plus I've lost recently I lost a ring, the real good one, and I lose rings a lot. I had a single princess cut that I lost. And I was real salty about that. But anyway, yeah. You like my Amish neck beard? You sound dumb. You're a dickhead. I mean, I don't mind you, but you're a dickhead. You sound stupid as shit. All right, but yeah. So yeah.
Like when you get your first place, more than likely, you're bringing your stuff from your crib. And more than likely, that stuff wasn't stuff that you bought. But when you get your own place, you start feeling yourself and telling yourself that you did everything. You furnished everything. You're making it on your own. You're doing everything on your own. And it's not normally true. It's not normally true. Jeff Sprayberry, what's good? What's good, my dude? How you feeling? How you feeling? You got a question for me, Miss Green? Yeah, I mean, anytime. You can hit me up anytime. My phone is on 24 hours a day. I might not answer it 24 hours a day, depending on who it is. My good people, I answer for. Strangers, I'll be like, I'm the same age as LL. No, I'm not. He's 2 years older than me. Wrong. He was born in 68. I was born in 70. So no, he's older than me. He just started growing hair on his face. He's been hiding his age for, plus he got a little bit of work done. I'm not 57. I'm not even 56. And I sure ain't 58. Oh, man. They were like Bumblebee. Oh, the trolls last night. Oh, my God. Last night, they was giving me the business. But that's what happens when I do a political show. Because, them MAGA nuts, they come out of the maggots. The maggots, they come out of the woodwork. Oh, you got TDS. It's a goddamn disgrace. Goddamn disgrace. Oh, damn. Why didn't you say you ain't want to be here? Let me get this dickhead out of here. And I'm not even, doing it because I don't like him. But he, why not? Let me just turn the sound down a little bit. Let me just turn him down a little bit. He can come back in a little while. Turn him down. You know what I mean? Let me trim his edges a little bit. Keep your hair still. Fuck out of here. Not tonight. Not tonight. All right, y'all, but that's what we talk about tonight. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Yo, this is me and you. This is what we're going to do. We're going to turn it out. Y'all know what time it is up in this bitch. We about to get about it. Yeah. We keep it rocking, yo. It's me and you, and we do what we came to do. This is our crew. I'll be banging and I'm making sure that I'm hanging with the best of people that ever came through. And I best believe that when we come through, you gonna see the best thing that you ever saw too. And when my peoples come by, please give me a like. And I'm hanging out with motherfuckers good off on my bike. Like when I was 10 and me and my friends, we was always in West Philly. What the hell doing then? Because we lived in Germantown and we was down like a submarine, keeping us clean and making sure that we got. All right. Shout out to the Green Machine. The Green Machine Big Wheel. Shout out to the Green Machine. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. What up, y'all? What's good? So, yeah. So what we're talking about tonight is help them get their job, help them get their house. You know what? Shout out to all of the people that help people get a job. Because, You ever have that one uncle that works for the city, or that aunt that works for the city, or that mom or dad that works for the city, and they get all of their family jobs for the city? Or if maybe it's a borough where you come from, they got everybody jobs, ruin their reputation at the damn city. Yeah, because everybody they got jobs didn't work at them jobs. It didn't work out at them jobs. They got it. So they got your cousin. They got your cousin job being a trash collector. They got your sister working in accounts receivable. They got, yeah, everybody got a job. And they done shitted on your auntie and your uncle real bad. They done soured their name like, oh, you got another family member coming in. You got another family member coming in. Oh, you gonna fuck around and get fired, Unc, if you keep getting your family members jobs in the city, for the city. Nirvana Crown, what's good? Aloha from Hawaii. That's what I'm talking about. Aloha from Hawaii. Can I get a coconut? Can I get a coconut? Please. I've got a hard time. Answering this because I could not work. I got my own job on my own. Yeah, and so did I. But you may have gotten a job for somebody else. And even if you didn't, you may know somebody who was in the situation who could relate to the situation a little bit better. You know how it go. Catherine Rowland was good. Was good. How you feeling? Señorita Ramirez, a Señorita Ramirez, a Señorita Ramirez, a Señorita Ramirez. What up? But yeah, that one auntie, that one uncle, that mom or that dad that works for the city, and they try to put their whole family on. And when the family get on these jobs and they don't do a good job and they wind up getting fired, you know, there's a long process to get fired from the city. There's a long process to get hired from the city. So you go through that whole long process and you finally get a job working for the city. You know, if you work for the city, you can retire. Don't nobody go broke working for the city or the borough. You get a good job. Benefits, every holiday off. All of them. And you fuck this job up. Aunt Ruby got you this job just like she got your mama the job, just like she got you. Even your kids got a job through Aunt Ruby. She the great aunt. She's the great aunt and a great aunt. And you got on the job, got caught drinking on the job. This job was set up so you could retire. This job was set up so you could retire. And you fucked it up. And made Aunt Ruby have to answer. Ain't that your nephew? Yeah, that's him. Aunt Ruby she'll show no shame. But yeah, well, these kids today, they don't want to work. They don't want to work. Oh, man. Catherine, she said, I want to retire. I wish I had another Ruby. Aunt Ruby, you mean? Shit. You get a job with the city. The benefits are the benefits. You're not going to get rich working for the city unless you get one of those city jobs where you can steal a lot of money. And there are jobs like that. But you might have a union job for the city, or you might just have a regular job for the city, but you can move around. You can apply for other jobs. Tuition reimbursement. You can go to school. You can come up working for the city. The real downfall of working for a city or a borough is that you have to live in that city or borough. You can't move, to the next state or nothing like that. But there are ways around that too. you know that there are ways around that too. And I seen them. I seen them. So you can move out of state, but you better make sure that that driver's license or that ID say that you live in that city or that borough. No, I just have a vacation home in Jersey. I don't live there. I don't live there. No, you never said my spouse couldn't live there, but I don't. I just visit, pay the bills. My car lives there, but not me. Anyway, Maria says, I hear state jobs are better. State or city, it doesn't matter. They get the same benefits, the exact same benefits. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I don't give a shit about benefits. I want money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. I'll take care of myself. I'm never going to retire. I'll die before retirement. Give me my money. Pay me out. It's like, no. Well, kind of, yeah. All right. Ms. Grimberg says, I can't. Okay, wait. I can't stay here, but I grew up in this world. Not great by all means. Let's just say no family here. Son, but I keep going. That's what's up. Yeah, it says, actually enter the military and you know you can retire. Yeah, but that's if you want to work for the military. Who want a job where a war could break out and you gotta go? Like, yeah, the military is cool, but I'm good. I'm cool. I'm cool off of that. Plus, when you're in the military, they can still tell you how to dress. I'm not working all my life in a job where I have to wear a uniform. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I don't give a fuck what you paying me. I'm not wearing a uniform every day of my life going to work. Or not being able to have a beard. Or wear my hair the way. Not going to happen. I'm cool. I appreciate our men in uniform. But that's their choice. I can't do it. Or I wouldn't do it. I could give them about 4 to 8 years of my life when I was younger. When I was younger. Oh, you said, Ms. Brim Ripper says, from what I know, military is not a good choice. Benefits wise, it is. Retirement wise, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. Plus, if you work for the military for like 20 years, you can retire. Retire early. Retire early. Get on up out of there. I think it's 20 years. It's no longer than 25. I know that. Maria says, especially now with your crazy boss, Trump. Oh, damn, I wasn't even thinking about that. But yeah, I guess we got to think about that. So my husband did 23 years and 5 wars, is well decorated, and trust me, it was worth it. 5 wars, 5 wars. I guess if you say it was worth it, I guess. Like, how many people can tell his story, making it through 5? Now, if he was an officer in the military and he went through 5 wars, I can understand why he's still alive. Because he didn't have to fight. You're an officer, you don't fight. But sometimes you did. You did have to fight. Like back in the day, Vietnam, you was a lieutenant. You was out there on the front lines too. DMX or Tupac? DMX. Don't like Pac. What do people call in about? They call in about what we're talking about now, which is you help them get their job, you help them get their house. So we're talking about when you've helped somebody do something, get something, get back on their feet, and they act like they did it on their own later on. They, they may have been initially appreciative of the blessings that you gave them, but later on, they somehow report that they got everything on their own. They did it all by themselves. What happened to your job at ESPN? They did try to kill him. He was Desert Storm. Listen, man. I wish I would die for this country. I'm sorry. Catherine, I hope you're white. I really do. Because if you're white, it makes sense. If you're black, it don't. And that's not even on some racist shit. You know, all you gotta do is pick up a American history book. Listen. You know how they. Speaking of that, hold on. You know how they talk about how Crispus Attucks was the first person to die in the Revolutionary War. He was a black soldier. I'm like, why did they want us to know that? And how can you say that he was the first soldier to die in the revolution? Like, that's something about that story never sat well with me. Like, why do they want you to know that a black man died for this country first in the Revolutionary War? Why? Like, there were slaves in this country, but somehow a free black man. Tiger Dust says, you know why? No, I really don't. Like, I'm like, what's the real significance of that? Like, what did they? Crispus Attucks, a black soldier, was the first soldier to die in the Revolutionary War. I'm like a horror movie. You know how black people never survive in the horror movies. You know, a lot of times we the first ones to get popped in a horror movie. Like, how can you say that he was the first one to die? Did the British kill him or did y'all kill him? I guess if y'all killed him, then he was the first to die. But it ain't had nothing to do with the war. So, I just smell a rat. I smell a fucking rat. You look like Cyril Gain, but sound like Daniel Cormier. Okay, whatever. And Aaron says he looks like Stephen A. Smith's brother. Okay. Y'all just saying anything. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay, y'all just want to say anything in the chat. Okay, all right, that's cool. All right, do your thing. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. As long as y'all not being disrespectful, you know what I mean, to everybody else. You can be disrespectful to me. I don't give a fuck. Plus, I control the whole, whether you stay or go. So yeah. But I ain't mad at y'all. But yeah, I don't look like anybody. Like, I look like me. Well, the LL Cool J thing, I'll go for that. Okay, all right. Okay, I've gotten that many times over the years. Nobody else, though. It's not disrespectful. What's not disrespectful? I didn't say you were disrespectful. I said as long as you're not disrespectful. All right. So when you help somebody out, when you help them get on their feet, some of us have relatives and friends that have gone to jail, came home, had to get their lives back on track or whatever, and you may have been instrumental in helping them to get back. Can you imagine? Dude been locked up for like 7 years. He comes home, You get him a job. You get him a job. You found him a job that hires convicted felons or whatever. And once he gets on the job and he starts doing well, he act like he got the job on his own later on. Like, oh yeah, I got, I came home so fresh and so clean, and got this job. Like, you just did that on your own, huh? So you was in jail. You called ahead to the job, and did you email him an application? How'd that go? Tiger, they love to have a black friend in the combo. That's why. Who likes to have a black friend in the combo? Who? The people who talk about the Revolutionary War with Crispus Attucks? That's an interesting name. Crispus Attucks. What kind of name is that? What kind of name is that? Crispus. It's an interesting name. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But I don't know. I've learned to live my life with gratitude. So I like to pay homage to those who have helped me in any kind of way. Even people like y'all. Y'all helping me now. Without y'all in the chat, I'm just talking, into the camera. And this is a front facing camera, so I would just be looking at myself. Speaking of looking at myself, you can always tell, like on the female side, and I'm not trying to diss, but this is an observation. When women start doing content creation or whatever, and you know that they're nervous, because they can see themselves in the camera, to them it's like a mirror. So you might see them playing with their hair or, fixing themselves. And it's not because they're trying to be conceited. It's because they really need a camera where they can't see themselves. Because when you can see yourself, you can start to become self-conscious really, really easy until you get comfortable in front of the camera. So you see them fixing their hair, or you might see them. That's just nervous energy. They don't know what to do with their hands. But they're not doing that because they think they're cute. They're doing it because they're noticing their own flaws. But if they practiced, they would get better at it. P. Williams says, stop the divide. Love. What is that? Is that a plus? Love minus hate? Is that a minus sign? Less than? This is more than, and this was less than, right? Remember that in math class? Catherine says, do you have knowledge about the Dutch and slaves that were shipped to South Carolina via the Caribbean? It's just a question. Well, all the Caribbean, particularly Barbados, was where allegedly the African slaves docked before they came to the mainland, because those ships really needed to, get off as close as soon as possible. Now, I say allegedly because I'm not convinced that all the black people that are in the Americas now, North and South America, I'm not convinced that we're all descendants of Africa. We may be descendants of Africa on the whole, but I'm not convinced that the Atlantic slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, or the Middle Passage, I'm not convinced that that's the way we got here. Because there's some things you have to take into consideration. And if you've ever been on If you've ever been on a cruise or if you've ever been all the way out there in the ocean where you couldn't see land anymore, if you're a black person, you get to thinking to yourself, you know how long it takes for a motorized boat to get all the way out there in the ocean? How long do you think it takes a sailboat? I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I'm just going to ask some simple questions because you have to remember there was no electricity. So those night times were night times. You didn't see shit. There was no electricity, which means there was no refrigeration. So without refrigeration, how did you feed those slaves that were supposedly on the belly of the ships, side by side like sardines? By the way, there were no such thing as ships. There were no slave ships. They were slave boats. The first ship wasn't even made until, let's see. When was the first ship constructed?
The first true ships capable of maritime transport emerged around 3100 to 2500 BCE, developed by the Sumerians and Egyptians. However, earlier, prehistoric people used dugout canoes, like the Pessie canoe, as early as 8000 BCE.
They're talking about boats. When I say ship, I'm talking about a ship where you have you have a belly of a ship and you have the deck. That's what I'm talking about. So, okay, let's put it this way. When were the first cargo ships constructed?
The first cargo ships appeared around 3000 to 1500 BCE. Civilizations like the Egyptians and Phoenicians built large wooden ships to carry goods across the Mediterranean and Red Seas.
Okay. I've gotten a way different timeline. Anyway, what I was looking for was the boats that they were sending over could not carry the kind of human cargo that they say was coming. And you realize how far away, let's say the Ivory Coast, the amount of time that it would take a non-motorized boat to reach Africa, West Africa, to the Americas, even if you're just talking about the Caribbean, it would have taken almost 2 months. How did they keep enough food? How did the pirates themselves, how did they survive it? 2 months at sea? Because the wind had to be right in order for those sails to go in the right direction. And out in the middle of the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, you have these things called ocean gyres. Ocean gyres, they're like whirlpools, and you can't get around them. You can't get around them, especially with a non-motorized boat. So how did they do it? How'd they do it? And I guess they make black people seem, Africans and black people feel like they were super strong. Like, yeah, we made it all the way from Africa to the Americas and we still survived it. While we laid in our own piss and shit and were misfed and malnutrition and all of that shit, huh? Disease and all of that shit. Can you imagine what it smelled like? We down there in the belly of the ship, all the. I'm not convinced that it happened that way. And I know of a different history. All right, but anyway, yeah, I ain't. You said they stock canned goods, not in cans, in jars, and half were dead upon arrival. Mm-hmm. So if half were dead upon arrival, why would you do it with those kind of risks? And you know, when you got here, you had to go back. What'd you do? Sign on for once a year? Like, yo, I'm gonna do one run, one African run. So you mean to tell me that millions of slaves made this trek? Because that's what they tell us. 80 million Africans were transported from West Africa to the Americas. Come on, man. I don't even believe that many Europeans came. Okay, go to Caraco and see for yourself. No, I don't have to go anywhere. I read a lot. Now, I've read some things that you obviously haven't read, but that's okay. I'm not saying that it didn't happen at all. What I'm saying is it didn't happen with the frequency that it has been reported. If you really go into the documentation and see the types of treaties that were sold, like there's a lot of information that they don't teach in schools and that you won't learn about if you don't ask the right questions and you don't know where to research. But yeah, the transatlantic slave trade wasn't what we thought it was. No fucking way. So how do you explain how different we looked in Africans? Because people want to say it was the interbreeding between the Europeans and the slaves. Really? Really? So all of us were interbred. All of us. Okay. You know, one thing they do with black people is they keep them, when it comes to slavery, they keep black people thinking about the brutality of slaves. So they keep us thinking about being raped and being beaten all the time. But that's not the worst part of slavery. It's just the part that grabs our attention. So, you know, if we're not thinking, we're thinking that we were getting our ass beat from sun up to sundown. But we weren't. What we were getting was a mental slavery. We weren't allowed to read or write. So when you can't read or write or leave your area, then you can only really obtain the kind of knowledge that a horse or a cow or some other livestock would. Because when you can't read or write, you can't learn about the negativity of your condition. So you begin to believe that you are where you're supposed to be. The mental slavery is what explains how we are today. Not getting beat from sun up to sun. If you beat an animal all the time, the animal is going to be afraid. It's not going to be able to work. It's going to get sick all the time. And so will a human being. So you wanted to keep your slaves healthy, and you wanted to keep them loyal, healthy and loyal and ignorant. Healthy, loyal, and ignorant. That way you get your work done for free forever. And they won't complain. That's more of what slavery was like than the brutality. The brutality was for punishment. Slaves who rebelled or revolted or got out of line, why do you think they always beat them publicly in front of the other slaves? To discourage them from the same kind of behavior. It ain't hard to tell. You know? So once they saw that you could damn near be beat to death, then that discouraged them from getting out of line now. So you'll notice that a lot of black mothers keep their sons out of trouble. Like, nah, don't be doing that around them good white folks. Don't be acting like that around them good white folks. That's why black women have a special relationship with white men. You see it. You see it. So, hey. Dr. Greentip says, I heard some slaves didn't leave the plantation after slavery got abolished. They didn't. It was work for them. It was like a job. You know, let me put y'all on to something. You ever think about, I can't believe that we on this shit, but fuck it. You ever think about, you ever wonder why the redneck white people are racist? You ever wonder why they don't like black people? You ever think about it? I mean, seriously, when you really, really think about it, why do poor white people have anything against black people? Think about it for a second. A lot of black people are poor, and especially going all the way back then. A lot of black people were poor and uneducated, and a lot of white people were poor and uneducated. Why did the poor, uneducated white man hate the poor, uneducated black man? Well, let me give you a little insight. And I'm not going to say this explains everything, but it may give you a different perspective. Slaves were only able to be purchased by rich white men because slaves weren't cheap. They cost more than horses. They cost more than cows. They cost more than chickens. They cost more than pigs. They cost a lot of money. Human beings cost money. We were damn near money ourselves. So if you weren't a rich or if you weren't a wealthy white man, you could not have slaves. So the redneck, regular blue collar white person did not own slaves at all. And neither did women, because women weren't allowed to own property. This is one of the reasons why white women have a problem with white men. They're not used to having any rights. So, all right. So let me break this down real quick. The redneck, uneducated, can't read, can't write white man saw us as taking away their jobs because we were free labor. We were taking away their jobs because we was free skilled labor. We were working on a plantation for no money. Now, if you're a white man that needs to put food on your table for yourself, your wife, and your children, and you see these slaves working for free, taking up your jobs, you think you might feel some kind of way about it? But instead of blaming the system, the rich white man who bought the slaves to work for free, you blame the worker. Fast forward to 2026. Who does the white man, the blue collar, uneducated white man blame for all the problems that he has finding work and keeping work? Immigrants who work for cheap, right? They don't work for free, but they work for cheap. They're taking all our jobs. They're taking all our jobs. They're taking all our jobs. They're taking your jobs. They are taking your jobs. You didn't blame the corporations or the companies for hiring these illegal or these cheap working immigrants. You blame the immigrants themselves. Like I said, I don't think that this explains everything about why blue collar or redneck white people don't like black people. But when you take those facts into consideration, you get a different picture of history. So look, man, you know, it's the same shit. You want to praise Donald Trump for getting those illegal immigrants out of the country, right? But you haven't gotten any jobs since they've gotten deported. It hasn't put any money in your pocket since they got deported. And guess what? Down south, when they abolished slavery, the white man didn't get any jobs either. But because you are poor and uneducated, you don't know any better. So you understand hating a person, but you don't understand how the system works. So you don't know how to hate that. And you don't know how to do anything about it. Obama deported way more. He did. But the ones he deported were actually criminals. And they went through the whole process. They got due process and all of that. They didn't bring ICE into the streets and just round up everybody and tell them and see if they had a green card or what got or didn't give a shit about whether they were legal or illegal and send them back. So yeah, he deported. And think about it. If he deported so many immigrants, why don't they like Obama? They should love Obama. He got rid of those job stealing spics. I can't believe we're talking about this shit. But fuck it. We can go where the conversation goes. Let me see. Corporations today are exploiting illegals for cheap labor right now. Yeah, and the slave owner exploited slave labor for not just cheap, for nothing. All you had to do was provide them with a place to stay. Nothing else. And the South was getting money. That cotton crop was like cocaine. Mississippi was the richest state in the Union. Mississippi. Well, it is what it is. This is not juice. This is my smoothie drink. I've dumbed it down. I normally have a lot more vegetables in here, but this is collard greens, tomato, red onion, a whole lot of garlic. I got a whole beet in here. I got beets. I got a cucumber and some radish. I believe that's it. Oh, no, I got a green pepper in here. I got a whole bell pepper in here. And I also have some turmeric, some turmeric, echinacea, and chlorella. That's what's in here. So, this will keep me in the bathroom and out of the doctor's office. That's what that is. I want to thank y'all for coming through. I'm not going nowhere yet, but I want to thank y'all in advance for coming through. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. If you like what I'm saying, if you like what we're doing over here, please subscribe to the channel. I understand if you don't. I really do. So a lot of people can't deal with discourse. But listen, this is a free speech channel. If you call into this show or in the chat, I don't regulate what you say. As long as you're not disrespectful to the other people in the chat, I'll let you rock out. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. If you call in, you'll never hear words like unalived or graper, or I don't substitute real English words for that internet shit. If they tell me that they won't monetize my channel because I'm using standard English, I don't know what to do. But I'm not going to be using words that aren't words to substitute for words that you know what I'm talking about. Like, you mean to tell me I can't say sexual assault or pedophile when those are words and those are actions? So I have to say SA for sexual assault, and for pedophile I have to say pedo. When you know what I'm talking about, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, you don't have to use soft language around here. Hey, if they don't monetize my shit, they don't monetize it. But I'm not gonna. Come on, man. The internet was supposed to be where you could express yourself freely without having to go by FCC guidelines and shit like that. But now that there's advertising and all of that, now they want to restrict you. They want to restrict you from putting out the truth by restricting the language that you can use. Well, I'm not there yet. America got rich from industry that happened after 1900. Remember, we invented the car. Kathy says, I do understand a lot, but really would love for you to visit Caraco and see for yourself. It was a gateway as well as other places. But I'm familiar with what you're talking about. I'm just not convinced that, real shit. I'm just not convinced that it happened the way they say that it happened. They lied a lot. Even with the slave ships, you ever notice that you never see an actual slave ship? Like, what happened to all those slave ships? If they transported all of those, where are they? Did they sink them all? Because they show you diagrams of slave ships, but when you want to actually see one, you don't see one. Oh, we have a caller. Hold on a second. Caller with the last number is 2404. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
So, brother, you from Philly too, or what?
Born and raised. What the deal?
Oh shit. Yo, so I'm from Mayfair. How about you?
No, I'm from Germantown.
No, that's all right. Germantown's where all the in Germantown, it's like you got the upper class and people like me and you. I'm not, but you could be in the upper class. I have no idea, right? But you still got the trolley that runs through the whole town, right?
No trolleys anymore.
What, they done or what?
Yeah, they've been done for decades now. No trolley.
Okay. So, like, did you grow up there or what?
Born and raised.
All right, so I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay.
And I went to the all men's what's it called, Quaker trade school in Media, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Was that a private school?
It's called Williamson College of the Trades.
Okay.
So in Jersey, I was in public school, so it was like all mixed race, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I got there, I'm like, God damn, I've never seen so many white people in my fucking life.
Oh, you're black?
No, I'm mixed.
Oh, well, mixed with what?
I'm South African and European.
So you're black?
Yeah, like Obama black, pretty much.
So you're black?
If I get pulled over by the police, I'm black, but like I'm mixed. You know what I'm saying?
Well, black mixed with anything means you're black because you ain't light enough to be white, so you're black by default. Black is the default setting. So
right.
Yeah. I wish Tiger Woods could understand that, but
all right. So like, I mean, I don't know how to play golf, but you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, and anyway, so like, do you believe in God or do you believe in evolution?
I believe in God.
All right, so like,
It doesn't mean that I don't believe in evolution.
Okay, I understand. So like, here's my question. Like, I didn't have one until that comment, but since humans, right? Since they created their languages for hunting and gathering to try and get animals towards them so they can kill them and get food, right? So as humans evolved and they created spoken languages, how did those languages become the words of God?
I don't know. Like in the book of Genesis, when it talks about the city of Babel, and they talk about how they broke up the language, like the world used to all speak one language, and
Okay.
God said that. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm not a Christian, but I've read the Bible a little bit,
No,
and
it's good for you, brother. Go ahead.
and I highlighted some areas where I was like I had the question. Let me see. Okay, here it goes. In Genesis 11 verse, I guess this is 5. Okay, it says, verse 11. Now the whole earth had one language and the same words. And as they migrated from the east, they came upon a plain in the inland of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves. Otherwise, we shall be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth." The Lord came down to see the city and the tower which mortals had built. And the Lord said, "Look, they are one people, and they all have one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. Nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language there, so that they will not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Therefore, it was called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad all over the face of the earth.
Okay,
And in verses like this, this is how I know that man wrote the Bible and God didn't. Because
thank you. Go ahead.
Because I'm like, if that ain't the biggest crock of shit I ever read in my life. So you made man, you created man, and you created the language, but you didn't have any idea that they would all speak the same language and commune with each other and build with each other. And when you saw that happening, you got pissed and said, "Yo, we're going to scatter them all over the earth and change the language so they can't communicate with each other." But somewhere along the line, you allowed them to translate and learn each other. Like, what the fuck?
So real shit. I got a question for you, right?
All right.
Real question. So today, since like the 1940s, 50s, and so on, we got movies, we have theater, and we have books, and we have all these forms of entertainment. So back when the Bible was written, was that their form of entertainment? Books only for the rich, not for the poor.
I can't say, but I'll say this: the poor were always discouraged from reading and educating themselves because the rich have always exploited the poor.
Right.
Because if people are educated, if they know a lot, that means that they think. And when they think, they think about improving their condition through industry, through logic, through things that make sense. When you are poor and uneducated, then your logic is more. I don't want to diss nobody, but it's you
Oh, go ahead.
you
Diss somebody.
you
It don't matter. Diss somebody.
you employ. It's not about dissing nobody. I don't like to do that. But when with certain things, the truth sounds like a diss when you don't understand the truth and how it works. So what I'm trying to say is, when you're poor and uneducated, you have to rely on your more animalistic or carnal instincts.
Right.
And that's why when people are poor and educated and crowded, they resort to violent crime, because the frustration, you think you can punch something and make it stop doing what you don't want it to do, or you think you can punch it and make it do what you want it to do, instead of using your mind, which is what you would do if you read more, if you were educated more. So the rich knows that if the poor becomes educated and they become more upwardly mobile, then they won't want to do the hard labor.
So did the rich and lawmakers create crime?
I think crime is a construct. It's you can only have crime
All right.
if you make laws.
I'm going to bring you back. So it's the early 1800s, right? And cocaine is a over-the-counter medication, right? And then in the early 1908,
the FDA,
to show what food products have cocaine in it, right? And then cocaine, from then on out, became a crime because people are using it in the wrong way.
Right. There was a time when all drugs were legal.
Right. So
it wasn't until 1914 that heroin.
You got it.
The Harrison Act. I went to school.
Yep.
I went to school.
All right, good.
Learned a few things.
Yep. All right. Can I? I'm not going to say teach you. You might already know. Can I show you the first brainwashing project in the USA?
Okay.
All right. So in 1912, there was a Negro, right? And he did Black History Week. Do you know him?
Yeah, Carter G. Wilson. Carter G.
There you go. There you go.
What the fuck is going on here? All right, go ahead.
All right. So the Black Power movement in the 1960s, right?
Mm.
We want to change our name from Negro to Black, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So it was Negro History Week from the early 1900s up until 1975, okay? So Gerald Ford, he could be white, I don't know, said there's no more Negro History Week. It's going to be Black History Month. So in the public school system throughout all of America, from 1976 on, Negro History Week turned into Black History Month, which brainwashed all of America to stop calling people of color Negroes and start calling them Blacks.
Okay.
So that brainwashed all of America in the public school system, starting at kindergarten or pre-K and up. Stop saying Negro, start saying black. From 1976 on.
So you agree with that or no?
No, that's what happened in this country. So,
No,
like,
but I'm saying, do you agree with it?
I agree with the movement saying in the 60s and 70s, we don't agree with the word Negro because it's a Spanish name for black. And it's the same word as nigger. Nigger is from a French word and a Spanish word for black, and that's where it came from. So it's almost like, don't call us a derogatory name. We would like to be called black. We don't want anything close to nigger, and that's it.
But you realize that before the the Black Power movement, black people didn't like to be called black. They liked to be called colored.
Yeah, and like,
or Negro.
I really think they didn't, just from my family history and what I know, it's like the word colored, they didn't like it because they had the colored restrooms and they had the white restrooms.
Right. But that was the South. That was the Jim Crow South.
Oh, yeah, right. No.
So that didn't apply for the whole country.
You're right. But like, I just don't understand. Like, I can get in deep, but it's like,
no, I see where you're going with this. But let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
And this question is going to sum up the whole problem of the black condition.
Okay.
Can you think of one thing, just one thing, that you would bet all of your money that even 75% of all black Americans would agree on? Can you think of one thing?
No, like hold up, that they would agree on.
Just one thing
that they would agree on. It's
okay. I'll reduce the number. Can you think of one thing that 60% of black people would agree on, and you could bet all of your money on it?
The only thing I can think of is they would bet this. You can do 100%. You can do 75%. You can do 60%. In the mind that you're thinking of is in race, but it doesn't matter. I think everyone would agree on living for your children, and that's it.
I don't think that we would agree on that in that percentage of our population.
Okay.
I mean, I can't prove it, but I don't think so. I disagree right there. You know what I'm saying? And the reason that I asked you that question is because we don't agree on anything. Like, I don't even think that you would get 80% of us to agree that racism is bad. Racism.
Like, racism in the U.S. is like the stupidest thing because everyone in the U.S. is from a different country.
Like I said, I don't think that you would get 80% of our people to agree that racism is bad. So if we can't even agree that something that is detrimental to our health, our condition, our mental state, our emotional state is bad, imagine the challenges that we have agreeing on anything that would actually uplift us.
Hold on. This question came to mind when someone asked me the same question. Okay. All right. So, what's it called? So, like, we have slavery in the U.S., right? In like the 17 to 1800s, right?
Mhm.
So do you think African people would prefer slavery in the U.S. versus genocide in their own country?
That's a funny thing. One of the reasons that I question the whole slavery thing is because Africans have not copped out to missing thousands or even hundreds of people from their village being taken from Africa. They don't have that. They don't have that documented. So, you know what I mean? Something ain't really right. But shit, I'll answer the question in reverse. Would I rather slavery in the U.S. versus slavery in Africa? I would say, all right, yeah, let Africa get a taste of what we had. You think I'm going to choose my own people to go through it again?
Hold up. I'm gonna throw a like small reverse on that, right?
Uh-huh.
Would you rather be locked up in a U.S. prison today or an African prison right now?
I don't know enough about an African prison, so I'll take my chances in the U.S.
Chances in the USA.
You know what I mean?
So would I.
Yeah.
So would I.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever known any African prisoners in Africa. That's the one thing I have not known. I know a lot of Africans, but evidently I don't know any criminals in Africa. Go figure.
I apologize. I didn't ask. Like, where did you grow up?
In Philly, remember?
No, I don't remember.
You smoke? Oh, yeah. You get high. Oh, I get it.
No. I just forgot we were talking too much. What part of Philly you grew up in? Germantown, is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
You're up there. Okay, I got you. Okay. I already forgot, you know.
It's all good. So
like you're what, in your 30s or 40s or what?
I'm 55 years old.
Okay, so okay, good. So like I'm 47. So did you used to hit up Club Egypt, Baja, and Maui?
No.
Come on, bro.
No, man.
You never hit the clubs in Philly?
Not those clubs.
Well, okay. Which were your clubs? Like Shampoo or what?
You going back. Shampoo.
All right, so
Shampoo.
The first club I hit up in I think it was like 1999 or 2000 was Club Baja right after Slick Rick got out of jail.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay.
Baja.
Anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yo,
thank you for your time.
It was good. It was great, man. I appreciate it. Stop by again. Call in anytime.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, have a good night. All right, good stuff. Should have got his name, but it's all good. It's all good. It's all gravy. All right. So shit, we were supposed to be talking about people who helped, people who we helped, and then they just forgot about the help that we gave them. But we've definitely gone in a different direction. Yo, what's going on? Knife Gate Stories. Upper deck ninja. After midnight, the impulse. When he said Club Egypt, I was like, oh, I see who you hang around. Baja. I was like, okay. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, we we could go to those clubs, but no, nah. I see my man Jeff Sprayberry. He got mad because when the boy said he was mixed, and I said mixed with what? He said African and It was like African and some European. I was like, so you're black? He said, yeah, but I'm mixed. No, anything mixed with black is black. And I see Jeff said, so just ignore the white side. What the fuck? Like, you know goddamn well that anything mixed with black, if it's going to be visibly black. And like, what are you going to do? What you going? This is how we separate. You know what I mean? Like there's some things that are racially very, very elementary. Like, yo, you look black, your skin is black, you can't be white. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit what your ancestry says. You're visibly black, you're out of the white. You know what I mean? You just can't be in the white club. They'll let you hang out, but you can't be one of them. That's not a diss. I'm not saying just ignore your white side. I'm trying to tell you, take the easy route. Shit, I have a mixed sister. Been trying to be white for 4 decades. How's it working out? She's got her feelings hurt a lot of times. And she's been, through her husband and her kids, she's been trying to phase out more black. You know what I mean? She filtering it out. But it's there. You know what I mean? Still got the tint. She still got the tint. It's all good though. It's all good. Shit. Now I'm feeling like maybe we should just change the title of the show. All right. So let's talk about the Constitution. No, we don't want to talk about the Constitution. Let me ask y'all this though. And I don't normally get into this kind of shit. Did you see JD Vance on The View? Did anybody see JD Vance on The View? Maybe you saw some clips from it. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and look up JD and put in the search bar JD Vance on The View. They was giving him the business. But they gave it to him pretty good. They gave it to him way better than mainstream media would. But woo! Yeah, JD Vance went on The View, Ninth Gate. I was like, yo. And you know what the illest part of it was? The whole panel was giving it to him more than Whoopi. Whoopi was slipping his, well, you know what I mean, JD, you know, why are you doing this to black people? She's stuttering and stammering. I'm like, Whoopi, get it together. Meanwhile, the Hispanic chick was like, yeah, why y'all be doing niggas like this? The fuck is y'all doing? I thought she was black. I was like, hey, Maria, what you doing? Marta getting stupid over here. She was getting busy on him. She's sliding on him. We gonna slide on him. We gonna slide on him. We gonna wrap him up and ride on him. What happened? Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That transition wasn't smooth. What's good? What's good?
What transition? What I just said?
No. When you called in, and when I answered the phone, it wasn't. You know what I mean? Normally, you can tell that it connects. That's the transition I was talking about.
That's JD Vance fucking with that.
It must be, and that's probably YouTube. Like,
Leave JD alone.
JD.
Is this Omar with the? This is Troy with the.
This is Son with the.
Oh my God, man! What's going on, everybody in the chat, the family? I mean,
you know, you're a little tardy. I'm a lot tardy. Yeah, I mean, you're a little tardy.
I told you these knees is hurting. I had to take one of them things, you know, the raws, the flexor raw.
All right.
Yeah, and just, I said, let me sit down. Let me take a little nap. That little nap takes me to a slumber.
Well, the crazy part about it is earlier in the show, we just got finished talking about the slave trade and mental slavery And
Oh shit!
yo, I mean, that is nowhere near what we were supposed to be talking about. But we got off.
That's my and you know that's my wheelhouse.
Listen, it was going there. Let me see.
So why did it go there?
Because Catherine Rowland, she started talking a little bit about the slave trade or whatever, and I don't even think she really meant to do that, and it just went from there. It went from there. It went from there.
Well, I can imagine what you said in Ninth Gate Story said.
Well, hey, we got then the caller called before you. I had to break my Bible out. You know what I mean? We talking about the city of Babel, and yeah, it's. I'm not sure where to go. I'm like, fuck it. Let's talk about JD Vance on The View. You know what I mean? Why not?
Well, I mean, did you talk about the whitewashing of trying to whitewash society of the slave trade and our whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly to make it more accessible for whites to be not to be uncomfortable? Did you talk about that?
No, I was talking about how I'm not 100% sold on the middle on what we've learned about the Middle Passage or the transatlantic slave trade. Like it's just, like I've talked about that on this show plenty of times. Like I'm not, some things ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. You know what I mean? Like I said, they didn't have any refrigeration. They didn't have any way to store food. You could say that they could fish and catch fish and feed everybody, but you still have to have a way to cook that shit. And we talking about damn near 2 months at sea. You know what I mean? And in the middle and out there in the ocean between the Americas and Africa, you have these ocean gyres. You need to look up ocean gyres. All right, not you, Tori, but I'm going to look up ocean gyres. What are ocean gyres? Okay, so ocean gyres are large systems of rotating surface ocean currents driven by global wind patterns and Earth's rotation. These massive circular flows act like giant whirlpools, redistributing heat and nutrients across the globe while unfortunately trapping marine debris in their calm waters, in their calm centers. How they work. All right, gyres are created by the interaction of three main forces: global winds, the Coriolis effect, and land masses. So the five major gyres, the Earth has five primary subtropical gyres that dominate global water. The North Atlantic gyre features the Gulf Stream, which brings warm waters up to the west to Western Europe. And that's the one that the slave ships would have run into. Them big ass whirlpools out in the middle of the ocean, they wouldn't have been able to escape them with non engine powered ships. So you mean to tell me that they brought millions of Africans in the belly of slave ships that made the whole trek and all that piss and shit for six to 8 weeks at sea, malnourished, subject to disease and all kinds of fungus and all that shit? You mean to tell and then they want to make us seem like, yeah, y'all was so strong that y'all made it. Get the fuck out of here. Because and the reason that I reject a lot of that is because to say that we were so strong that we could make that trip time and time again, that's the same way that they can that we can be misdiagnosed or treated poorly in hospitals because they think that we have a higher threshold for pain than other people do. So they may not administer us the right type of treatment or pain medication because you're black, you can take it. The blood and treatment of your ancestors ensures that you'll be all right. your headache ain't the same kind of headache.
Mhm.
Like we don't. So anyway, so yeah, I just and I asked, how come we don't look like Africans? Like when you see an African, even before he opens his mouth, the bone structure, you see it. There's a difference.
Mhm. Mhm.
And they want to say that it's because we have interbred with white people and all of that. I'm like, when you see a black person, I mean a white person, a person that's mixed with African and white, you still see a lot of those African features in them. I'm like, it's not the same.
You know, well, from what I see, when you mix a white person, when you have an interracial relationship, and you have a child, you see a mixture of them, or you don't see that much. You see a lot of black, but not to the point where you see African, because the inbreed is so tight. It's a unique inbreed. But when you think about it, that's the only way that I can see it like that, is because of the inbreed. I can, but what you're talking about is it makes it's something that you have to really investigate. Like how deep did slaves get over here on these boats? How bad was the currents, and how bad was that? How bad was the traveling to get here?
Well,
Because
when we were in school, they never talked about that.
well, they're not going to talk about that.
Well, the reason I'm thinking about the reasons that they didn't talk about it, because they didn't really want you to think about it. They kept us thinking about brutality, slave whips, beat, 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 beat. That ain't that's not what put us in our condition today. The mental part of it is what has us in our condition. We think that we're where we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be. That's the problem.
The whole thing about it is that, that triangular trade that we went through. And we also got to have understanding that a lot of slaves died on them boats too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether they jumped over the boat and killed their own selves, or they just died from malnutrition, or they died from getting killed over on a boat. So I mean, it's a lot going along with that. And yes, we are strong-willed individuals at the end of the day with what you're talking about. But when we there was a lot of drop off to other countries or other land masses, because at that time they were countries, but they weren't like really named. You know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of the day, when you sit back and you think about it, the inbreeding is really what set society up. Because when I look at my great grandmother, and I look at my great great grandmother on my father's side, my great grandmothers on my mother and father's sides, both sides, I see the bone structure of African. On my great grandmother, you know what I mean? And then in my great grandmother, I see the bone structure of Indian. I mean, you gotta really dig deep into that genetic DNA and really work to find out where do you come from, to really get an understanding of parts of slavery, or do more homework. It's a lot of homework to do on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of homework to do on that, because, and the thing is that we're old enough now. We're old enough, and it's just like reading the Bible. When you have questions about what goes on in the Bible too, and that's what makes life so fucking good. And that's what makes us so great. That no matter how old you get, you still have questions. And that's a beautiful fucking thing, man. You know what I mean? Everybody don't understand that when you no matter how intelligent you get or how smart you think you are, there's still questions out there that you asking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how life is. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we don't have to ask why they want to take down the slavery expo down at Independence Mall. We already know that. We know why Trump want to take that down. We know why Trump want to shut down the black portion of the Smithsonian. We know why. We know why they want to whitewash all the damn books of slavery. We know why. But you don't want to. Why don't y'all give us all the money back from the patents that we invented that y'all stole and put your names on? Give us all that money back then.
Well, they weren't patent. They wasn't. We didn't get the patent when we did it. But
Yeah,
hold
I
on.
know.
There's some things going on in the chat that are interesting as hell. And I want to address some of them. I wouldn't normally, I don't normally like to,
Yeah,
when
I
we're
mean, let's
talking.
have fun with these motherfuckers. Let's have fun with these motherfuckers.
But hold on, like Chris, what's his name? Christopher Felon. He says, you talking about slavery? You from Philly? Well, who's selling fentanyl in Kensington right now? Who put them in that condition? And I told him, white people are the ones using and selling fentanyl in Kensington. Why do you think that they're getting away with it? Why do you think they aren't arresting people and they treating it like what was that shit on the wire? Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You think if black people, if it was black drug dealers selling the shit down there, there wouldn't be no Amsterdam. It wouldn't be no Kensington.
Let's just break this down. If Beverly Hills looked like Kensington, then fentanyl wouldn't be out here. There wouldn't be no Kensington.
Wait. Now he says using, not selling, bro. White people are the ones using fentanyl, and they're also the ones selling it. They sell it the most, and they use it the most.
If you come to Kensington, you would.
And hold on, and most of the addicts down there are not from Philly. They from the county. They from Jersey. They from Delaware. Somehow they landed in Kensington, the nastiest part of Philly. Historically, it ain't never been a good neighborhood, even before the drugs.
Before the drugs,
it ain't never been a good neighborhood. It's always been a shithole.
The most racist in Philadelphia.
It's always been a shithole. Amsterdam is no on the show The Wire. They had the place where they used heroin openly and freely was called Amsterdam. I said Amsterdam, not Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam. Shout out to Amsterdam. That is a good time. Yeah, Amsterdam. Red light district.
Didn't Jacob Bridges say something else before he said that?
Wait a minute. Then wait. I was talking to Christopher Felon, or is it Felton? And Jacob said, "Oh, Jacob. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know this motherfucker was trying to. Oh, he's dumb. Okay. All right, it's cool. Because he said Michelle Obama is a man. All right. So, okay. All right. So, all right, fuck him. All right, but let's see. Lawrence, hold on. Lawrence McGannis. Is that his name? Lawrence McGannis. If I'm saying your name wrong, please pardon me. He says blacks are not bad. It's just a small group that makes them look bad, just like indigenous and whites of all races have that small group that makes the rest of them look bad. I'm straight up. It's not even about looking bad. When you say that somebody, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but when you talk about somebody looking bad, in the eyes of who? In the eyes of who? If you isolate any group around their own, the same culture of people, then all of the crime, all of the chaos, and all of the productivity will come from out of that group.
It's a proximity of where you live at.
Yeah. So
black, white, Chinese, still Chinese.
Exactly. So You know, I mean, the media has us pigeonholed thinking that, you know, we are inherently criminal or that we're violent or whatever. It's like, motherfucker, this is one of the reasons I'm glad that places like Kensington exist. Because I'm like, because you can't sweep that under the rug. Everybody in the United States knows about Kensington and Philly. Why is that? But but what they know about what they may not know about Kensington is that is not a black neighborhood. That is white, and it's always been white.
Always been white. It's right near. It's right near. It's right near. Northern Liberties. Northern Liberties was known as Fishtown, and Fishtown was another one of the racist areas in Philadelphia.
Well, Fishtown is where when the first Rocky movie that was in Fishtown. Right. I thought it was South Philly back then. It was Fishtown.
I thought it was too.
Yeah, I thought it was South Philly.
You got to realize this though. They changed the name and gave it a fancier name and called it Northern Liberties.
Well, they changed it. They went back to the so-called original names of all neighborhoods in Philly.
Yeah.
Instead of it just being North Philly, South Philly. Now they gave the names, like they even have certain names of neighborhoods in South Philly now. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay. That's nice.
Queen Village,
yeah.
Point Breeze, that shit. I mean, yeah, you know, and all
we didn't talk like that. You know what I mean? It was just, but okay, but you know that was for the for people who are not here. That was for the what do you call that shit?
It's for the gentrification movement.
Gentrification. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was yeah. So you know, instead of calling it North Philly, this is Northern Liberty.
They got all Kensington and they got New Kensington.
You know, this is Brewery Town.
Yes.
Where's Brewery Town? Oh, damn, that shit is in North Philly. We call it 29th Street. But anyway, so but yeah,
they call your area Center City North now.
No. It's called Tioga. Tioga.
Oh, the Tioga section?
It's Tioga. I live in Tioga.
I'm serious, man.
Where do I live? I live in Tioga. From Tioga.
If y'all think that we're going on the list from the Point Breeze section, I'm from South Philly too. It's not Point Breeze, it's South Philly, baby. But I'm from near the Point Breeze section of South Philly. But yeah, the thing about it is that if people want to really see how Kensington is, just come down here at nighttime and see how many white people you see in that area. Because it's dominantly white at nighttime. And as soon as you hit that area, you ain't got to look for them. Just play Thriller.
Man, listen, I ride through that shit every night. And that shit is if that doesn't depress you, I don't know what will. Because it's hard to be desensitized to that level of poverty, of despair, of addiction. It's nasty work. It is nasty work. You know, I'm this close to being sorry for the cops. I'm close. I'm this close to being sorry for the cops. Cause I'm like, this is not the move. This is a sad situation.
They think that it's fentanyl. It's not just fentanyl. It's heroin. It's perks. It's
wait. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight? How are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. Been a little sick, but
always glad to know that. I'm glad you're hanging in there, Ma.
Yeah. Hi, everyone in the chat. If Troy can't hear me, tell him I said hi.
Okay, I will.
Just got in, but I always get educated from you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I truly do. I noticed when I got online, you were talking about the drug bust and the different areas. It took me back to Black Hawk out here in California.
Mm-hmm.
That was supposed to be one of the high up, areas when mostly white people. But back in '91, time they said the biggest drug.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That was a white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really something. It is. Oh, people try to stereotype our people. Well, that's gonna always be. Don't bother me. Don't care. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to check in and say hi and see you guys on the show. I'll be back soon. Okay.
Well, we miss you too, and
Mhm.
it's always good to hear your voice. Always.
Good to hear you.
Okay. All right. Everybody in the chat, I love you all. Okay. Be cool. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. Bye bye.
Troy, I might have found the most seamless way to answer calls and transfer. I might have learned something tonight. If this works consistently, it's on. You know what I mean? It's on. I think they must have updated this thing or something like that. I can do it. I can do it. So if somebody call in, I gotta transfer it to the phone and then answer the call and then merge it and then transfer it back over to the joint. I was trying to do it a different way before, but I gotta see if it works. Again, it worked that time. But I think it'll work again. I think it'll work again. I think it'll work.
Yeah.
Black racism is the biggest problem in America today. Oh, then your problem is solved.
Oh, and then hot shower Bob, like talking about people's mom.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, these motherfuckers. I mean, these cats just increasing our numbers right now. So I ain't even mad at them. Anyway, it's almost 3:00 anyway. So we go bye. I don't really give a fuck what they say now. Like right now. Oh, by the way, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it if y'all hit the like button. You know what I mean? Do me that one little solid, and everything will be okay. Yeah, this show took an interesting turn tonight.
They must really don't understand that black people can't be racist.
Yeah, but you won't be able to make them understand that. They think racism is just not liking somebody.
That's what happened when you're on a slow bus with the white helmet.
Bah.
Hot shower Bob, tell your mom there's this new thing called teabagging. And me and son gonna do it together to your mother.
I wouldn't even teabag. I wouldn't even do that unless I got finished running like 3 games of Rough House.
Yeah. Like even it's gotta be sweaty teabag.
It's like 3 games of Rough. You know what I mean? One more game, full court though. No half court.
His mom name is Hot Shower Bob Lahore.
Yeah.
So I wish I had called in earlier, but just a little conversation that we had about that. That's deep. I might have to look into that myself, man. Because that's something you didn't open my mind to something to think about. You know what I mean? I'm enlightened.
We will never get an accurate history of our condition or what happened to us. We can't rely on others to do that for us. So we have to. But we
do know it wasn't good. Son. We do know it wasn't good.
And it also, we know it isn't good, but it may not be. I just don't like the way they keep us concentrating on the brutality. That's just like corporate America keeps us thinking about blue collar America, having to work with your hands and all of that.
Well,
but they don't.
It's that it's not that. I don't think they keep us focused on the brutality. I think the brutality keeps us focused on the brutality because there's no other way. There's no other way that you could have forced us to come to this country without that being brutal.
Yes, it is. Because they already had treaties set up with the African kings. If that's what happened, they didn't go in. They didn't go in and snatch us up. That's not what happened.
Oh no. I understand that there was at some point that, but it wasn't just all the treaties. It was also some snatching up.
Well, but see, here you got to think about the whole process of getting us on the boat. First of all, the big boats can't come into the shores. So we would have had to have been taken out by smaller boats into the bigger boat. But here's the thing. You don't find actual slave ships anywhere. You mean to tell me we transported all of these slaves in the belly of slave ships, but you don't see any slave ships? What they do with all of them? It's an important part of our history, isn't it? So where they at? We see diagrams of slave ships, but we don't see the actual ships. Where are they? There's a reason you don't see them. Because a lot of that shit is mythological. And when it comes to the brutality part of it, Troy, you'll never control a people just by being brutal. That's the one thing that the United States learned about Iran. Like, we don't give a fuck how much you bomb us. We're not surrendering, and we're going to keep fighting. That's the lesson that Russia learned from Ukraine. We don't give a fuck how much you kill us or bomb us or whatever. We're going to keep fighting because it's worth it. And as far as slavery is concerned, when I talk about the brutality in that regard, you have to remember that we were like livestock. We were owned like somebody would own cows, chickens, pigs, horses. But we were a valuable commodity that only rich white men could afford. White women were not allowed to own property, except in the event that their husband passed away and she inherited it. Other than that, she couldn't be a slave owner because she couldn't buy slaves. And the poor, uneducated, or regular working white man could not afford a slave. A slave was like having a Benz. It was like having a Bentley. You couldn't afford that. So just like if you beat your animals all the time, then they won't produce for you. They'll be scared all the time. They'll be sick all the time, and they will be injured all the time, and they won't be able to work. Same as the slaves. So the worst part, the way that they maintained slavery was they kept them healthy, they kept them fed, and they kept them uneducated and on the plantation only, so they did not know the gravity of their condition. They didn't know any better. They didn't know the world around them. They didn't know where they came from, especially if they had been born into slavery. So if massa wasn't the only time they really got brutal with the slaves is when somebody rebelled or revolted. And that's why all of the slave beatings were public in front of the other slaves, to let them know, to discourage them from being bad. That's why your moms and your grandmothers, that's why they always tell you, boy, don't be acting like that around them white people. They made sure that the women understood to keep the men in line so they would not be hurt. But in the commission of them staying safe, they worked because they were healthy and they weren't they weren't injured, they were healthy and they could produce. If you beat them all the time, they can't produce. You couldn't have a bunch of Kunta Kintes work in the fields. They're not healthy enough to do that. See, this is the part that they left out of our knowledge. They just keep us thinking about getting whipped and whipped and whipped. And yeah, that's a sad thing, but that's not why we're in the condition that we're in now. Just like we were bred to believe that we should be in that slavery condition, we believe that we should be in the condition that we are in now. And we think it's our own fault because we've only concentrated on the brutality part. And that's not what kept us in line. So that's what we need to look into more. You know what I'm saying? The mental slavery has got us chained the fuck down. And we point the finger at each other for our own condition. You know, I was online talking to somebody the other day and they were talking about because we don't fix up our own neighborhoods, that allowed gentrification to come in. And I said, say what? Yeah. If we had taken care of our neighborhood, we wouldn't, then gentrification wouldn't have came in. I said, well, I tried to put them on that. No, ownership is the biggest defense of gentrification. If everybody owns their homes, then you can't snatch the homes away from them and tear homes down and build new ones up. I said, and as far as keeping your neighborhood in good looking shape, wouldn't that attract more gentrification? Like, hey, that's a nice neighborhood. I think I'll move down there. But I tried to tell them that the investors have enough money to buy up all of the abandoned houses, all of the houses that people are behind in their taxes or that people will sell to them or whatever. I said, but you notice they're not selling those homes they're not selling them as homes that you can own. They're making duplexes and triplexes and building apartments. They don't want anybody to own any property, black or white. Because when you don't own anything, you don't have any power. If you're a tenant, you don't have any power. You don't have any say so. They don't even invite you to committee meetings. I get invited to them shits all the time. They put it right in my mailbox. Hey, listen, a certain business wants zoning. They want to put up a deli or some shit like that. And we can say yay or nay if we go to the meetings. But yeah, ain't no tenants in those damn meetings. All homeowners. Those are the ones with power and financial power, and that's the gateway to a generational wealth. But we don't understand that shit. We don't understand that shit. So it's okay. It's okay. So when you understand, when you start to understand these things, or when you start thinking out of the box, that's why I don't get offended by this dumb shit that people be saying. Because I'll be like, you call me a nigger, and nigger means ignorant, but you're the nigger. You don't know what I know. I know some shit. I'm just sprinkling it. We don't want to get deep into what I really know. And God forbid you know how I really think. So it's all good, my brother. Let's get them up. Let's do this. Let's do the poll question. And then let me let these good people get on their way and fade into the night. Out of 57 votes, the question was, what do you think of people who try to get close to you really quickly? Okay, 19% said that they're just trying to get to know me. 37%, which is the highest percentage, says red flags, they're after something. 26% said depends on the relationship we had, which is reasonable. And 18% said as long as they ain't creepy or something or nothing like that. All right. So not a bad balance, but more people believe that, people who try to get close to you real fast or get to know you real fast are probably after something. What do you have that they want? You ever have to ask yourself, have you ever not been sure of why somebody was trying to get close to you or trying to get to know you or trying to get with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's confusing at the time, like, because it might be somebody who already got money, like, so I know they ain't after that.
Mm-hmm.
It might be somebody that's really good looking, like, I don't think they would be gassed by that. But you never know what people's motives are, you know what I mean? And sometimes your energy may just really vibe well with theirs, you know what I'm saying? And then they may feel something that you're not up to speed yet. You're not up to speed with yet, I should say. But you never know. Or they could be trying to kill you like they do on the ID channel. All right, my brother. Have a good night, man. Hey.
Love you, bro.
All right, man. Love you too. I'll holler at you later.
Yeah, we do that.
All right.
All right, one.
All right, peace. Okay. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 16th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Stephanie Miss Tall Body Leary, and also Faith Amanda and Tamara Lindsay, and last but not least, Tiffany Wilson. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all, and I hope that today finds you all a good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious June 16th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, you will talk the shit, go like Simba, We fall down, but we get up. But we bring knowledge to each other, and we try to raise each other up, and we always stay positive like the word yup, So we answer the question, make suggestions, and make sure that we teaching and learning lessons. But the blessings are coming in large amounts, and I'm going to make sure that I go as high as I can count. And I say it's a route, which means that I'm going to blow these motherfuckers out. That means that I won the game and you know my name, but I did it for the people. I'm not doing it for the fame. It's the same way that I would hope that you would treat me, but I hope I'm not like a slave so you don't mentally beat me and put me in a bad condition. But the mission is that we can have a good time and go fishing, because sometimes we need to relax in between the times when we trying to stack and break backs. But I'm going to sit back, relax, and chill and talking to my people because I know that is real. So I'm still in the trenches, still relaxing. Sometimes I sit and talk on the benches and I chill with my shorty and drink a 40. I don't drink no alcohol or liquor, but I'm still sticker. sticking to the plan. I'm a man, and I'ma stand 10 toes down. You understand? Everything is gonna be all right, but I shop and get my food at the local shop right. And that's the supermarket. I don't know if they have them in your state, but they got them in mine, so we still shine. And I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball because there ain't enough money out here to buy my mental state. I stand tall, and everything is gonna be just right. Yeah, I'ma say to y'all, peace and good night. And I hope that you have a good sleep, or if you gotta go to work now, yo, hold it down for the fam, for the peeps, for the place where you go at the end of the night to get sleep. And so I bless the house that's above your head and the roof, and make sure that you bless the bed and get a good rest, because you gotta be strong, because it ain't easy on these jobs nowadays to get along with your supervisors and the bosses and the managers. It's all right. Stand with them and let them know that you need to be respected. And if y'all do that, then y'all can stay connected. And if you don't do that, then I'm going to have to find another place to work, because I'll be goddamn if I'm going to be treated like a jerk. And this is a shirt. I like stripes and checks. And I'm going to see y'all the next 1 o'clock going into the next day. Here we be like, hey. Make sure y'all come through tomorrow night, man. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure y'all come on through, man. And I hope y'all enjoy listening to the show as much as I enjoy broadcasting it. Hit the like button on your way out, if you would be so kind. Subscribe to the channel, if you would be so humble. Peace.